Grumpy. And it's time for another episode of Grumpy Outlaw Kitchen, where today we're doing barbecue and we're doing pulled pork sliders. So, let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Alright, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to start with our Hawaiian sweet rolls. We're going to move on to our rub, which consists of onion powder, garlic powder, white pepper, cayenne pepper, and a little bit of white sugar. We're going to move on to our brown cane sugar, and lastly we're going to go ahead and rub everything down on our pork shoulder. We're going to go ahead and start rubbing down our meat. So we're going to use our pre-made rub right here. We're just going to pour it on nice and heavy like. That way we get every bit of the meat the best way we can. Just like this. And go ahead and just rub it all in. Make sure everything's getting all deep into the crevices the best we can. Then we'll go ahead and flip it and do the other side. Just like that. It's always good to have a pre-made rub ready to go, so that you can always just go to that rather than putting a bunch of things in one at a time. It makes it faster, easier, and you can mark it, that way you know what it is. But now we have our full rub down pork. You can use some of the bottom stuff like that to get into places you missed. But basically that's what you want to do right there. Then get it again, and then you want to come with your brown sugar. And for me, I'm using dark brown to have a better look, and when it smokes, it's going to have a nice caramelized, moist look to it. Just like this. Getting all the little crevices, all the little nooks and crannies. We want to get every part of this bad boy so that we're holding in moisture and flavor. And then what we're going to do is start wrapping and change our pork shoulder and foil. And you see, I have half a wrap there. We're going to do it right now, and one more on top. Just like that. We're going to go ahead and go under. That way we have a little pocket of air so that this can be smoked in. And we're going to go ahead and put this on a smoker for about 3 hours so that everything's moist.
This is what we're working with here. Freshly smoked pork shoulder. Now we'll go ahead and get a fork and peel it so that we can have our pulled pork.
What we're doing now is we're going to go ahead and start pulling our pork. We let our pork rest for about a half an hour. And the thing that we need to do for pulling pork, you'll need two things. Number one, a fork. Number two, barbecue sauce. For me, I'm using Kansas City in Hawaii. That way we have a nice sweet and smoky flavor complexity when we're doing our pulled pork. And when we're done, it'll look something very similar to this right here. So that's not overly runny, but it's not thick either. And that's something we want to use. That way we have a nice body and flavor when we're having pulled pork to go with the rest of everything else. Okay? So now what we're going to do now is start pulling pork, which is what you want to do is take the middle cut of your pork, take a fork, and literally drag the fork down against the grain. Or excuse me, with the grain. And what's going to happen is, as you're pulling, you'll start noticing strands. And if you're doing it right, you can get right through each day. And all you're going to do is add that to your bucket. And we'll continue to do that until we're all done and have a full and complete
After it's been pulled and put with our barbecue sauce. So now we're going to go ahead and take this along with our ceviche and fully constructed pulled pork slider. I hope you guys enjoy.
Hey, I see you watching. Hey, while you're watching, why don't you click there and subscribe? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.